warrior, I want to welcome you to this video where I'm speaking directly to you, the health anxiety sufferer. Now, I want to be really clear on what we're discussing today. We're discussing the three different types of minds that people walk around with on a daily basis. And today we're talking about it in the context of health anxiety. Okay? Now I'm going to get into the first type of mind that we walk around with on a daily basis if we suffer from health anxiety. And that mind is what's called the emotional mind. The emotional mind is very instinctual, reactive in nature. So with health anxiety sufferers, you'll notice that they get a twinge here, or they get a thought up here, or they get a zap over here, and right away they'll start to question what it means. And they'll never ever take the time to listen to the opposing voice that says that it could just be a twinge or a zap or something like that. So you can see how the emotional mind runs the show if you're a health anxiety sufferer, because it's very emotional, it's very instinctual. Okay? Now the emotional mind tends to manifest because of things that happened way back when in our days of growing up. Our authority figures, mom, dad, were also very highly emotional, or we had many emotionally traumatic experiences in our lives. So the emotional mind is something where we need to get out of, okay, if we're in fact going to overcome health anxiety, number one, and to get to a place where we're more self-mastered in our minds, our beliefs, our words, our behaviors, those sorts of things. Because self-mastery is the goal. And we cannot become self-mastered if we're always jumping to the worst possible conclusion every single time someone looks at us, or every single time we feel something, or every single time we're invited to some kind of a dinner or something like that. We start to think, how am I going to handle it? Emotional mind. The second type of mind is the reasonable mind. Now, the reasonable mind is where you start to focus more on facts, figures, science more than anything. You start to go, you know what? In this moment, what does this really mean? Now, my emotional mind is telling me that I may have a physical disease or manifest something like that, or I may need to go to the doctor or something like that, or call my reassurance friend. That's my emotional mind. But on the other side, my reasonable mind is saying it's just a twinge, or it's just a feeling, or it's just a reaction to the environment, or something I ate, or something like that. That's my reasonable mind, okay? And the reasonable mind can show up more and more and more the more we practice being reasonable in times where we're more emotional. Okay, so this is very important. Now, many health anxiety sufferers out there have a difficult time becoming reasonable as far as their symptoms of anxiety goes because they're afraid of losing control. Okay, they're afraid of losing control. They feel like when they're emotional and when they're reactive, they have a sense of control. They have a sense of knowingness, what's going to happen next. Okay, so we want to begin adopting a reasonable mind more than anything. But more than anything, we want to adopt the third mind, which is the wise mind, which is the middle ground of both. Okay, because there are times where we need to become emotional to get the job done or to get through to someone. And there's times where we need to be more reasonable in our approach and our reactions to things to get to a place where we're much more neutral in situations where we're getting anxious. So a wise mind is where you're more peaceful and more pleasurable when it comes to your participation in life. Think about it like this. You're walking down the street and you're taking care of a chariot, okay? And on one side, there's the black horse, and on the other side, there's the white horse, okay? Now, your job as a health anxiety sufferer is to make sure that you direct both horses in the right direction, because one horse will want to veer right, another horse will want to veer left. Think about it like that. That's your reasonable mind, and that's your emotional mind. Your job is to find the balance between the two and guide both of them in the right direction. To ask yourself, what do I need right now? What is the best reaction or approach in this situation? Now ask yourself this question today, my friends, as I leave you with this video. What steps can I start taking today to develop the growth of my wise mind? What steps can I start taking today to develop the growth of my wise mind? Take this video, run with it, and I promise you that in a short amount of time, you will become wiser in your thinking and your approach to all of this that's going on in your life. And you will take this health anxiety journey, and in a short amount of time, you will mold and create the type of person that you are meant to be to give back to the world in some productive, awesome way. Okay? So anxiety is the best and worst thing that's ever happened to you. I promise you, even if you don't see it right now. I love you so much. You are more than anxiety. Bye, guys.